Alone, we can do little, but together, we can do so much. This underscores the importance of teamwork and the need to pull resources together to achieve a common goal. Armed with the desire to achieve the goal of moving Cross River from over-reliance on federal allocations to an industrial hub, Senator Professor Ben Ayade, upon taking over as governor, put together a team of seasoned professionals across all sectors.
When he came in, he made it clear that industrialization was going to be his fulcrum, was going to be his anchor point. And he set the ball rolling immediately by establishing the government factory first. Within 1 year, that was ready, and we started production. So by and large, we now came up with a policy we call one local government, one industry, at least one industry. And as we speak to you today, across the 18 local government across the state, I think we've been able to put our presence in almost all the local government areas. Some of the ones you've not seen our industries there because the procurement process is still ongoing.
Right now, we are developing a policy, industrialization policy for Cross River State. You know, we have at least 33 industries scattered across the 18 LGs. So UNIDO is helping us to have a policy where we are going to streamline how these industries are going to work together. Following the policy, they are actually going to go ahead and support the workings of these industries to make them more functional and more operational.
Virtually the entire 18 government has felt the impact of His Excellency. Virtually the entire 18 government has also raised the standard. He has raised hope, he has raised the standard of their living. Because most of these things that have been done, most of this industry goes ahead to reflect the local economy. Because the money spent there, those supplying sand will get, those riding bikes will get, because they bring workers there and take them back. So by and large, all this money goes to reflect the local economy. It therefore means that the administration of His Excellency, Senator Professor Ben Ayade, has impacted beautifully. It has impacted immensely on the people's well-being vis-a-vis the urban renewal system of the entire state.
Our security architecture increased surveillance. We're able to recruit so many non-uniform people, give us intelligence, and spread what government stands for. If you go, you see a long queue of vehicle security or combined forces combing the town, left, right, center, everywhere. The aim is to making sure that we make the place very unsafe for criminals.
As a boost to the industrialization drive, the state textile industry and other revenue-generating agencies have seen their heads redouble efforts to shore up the state's revenue to augment what comes from the central government.
Through His Excellency, Senator Professor Ben Ayade, the government factors a vision to meet clothing needs, garment needs across Africa to the world.
Well, we are looking at positioning PRISA to be a very profitable venture, a public venture, where revenues accruing from signage and advertisements would be harnessed without so much stress. We appreciate the state IRS for setting up the platform. So in a short while, by the time we bring everybody on board the Pay Direct platform, it will be very easy for our clients all over the world, in Lagos, in wherever they are, to do their business, post their advertisements and make payments directly to the state government. We want to completely eliminate the use of middlemen in collecting government revenue, so that value is received for monies and all resources, financial resources paid.
I've gone ahead to request His Excellency Sir Ben Ayade to help Cross-Riverians get this title document, and he has graciously gone even beyond my request to reduce the price for C of O under the systematic land titling registration. For a C of O that is basically supposed to be about 200,000, we are now issuing for just 40,000 under the project. That is open to the first 1 million applicants between now and the next 6 months. So I hope within my tenure that this will be one milestone we will achieve. First, to give title to the public, to enable them access funding from the bank and to keep as collateral for whatever they need to transact in the future. And on the other side, getting some small revenue to raise the IGR of the state.
The health and agricultural subsectors are two areas where Governor Ayade's team members have made significant inroads into the fulfillment of his campaign promises.
First and foremost, this administration came up with a lot of lofty policies and implementation plans and actions for the health sector. I think the first was, of course, when the governor launched the Ayade Care, which is a state health insurance scheme. It was launched, and of course, cross-river areas are expected to pay in a little token of 1,000 naira into a central pool that would give us universal health coverage, meaning that people would not be allowed to spend and go into catastrophic health expenditures, which will improve their risk and also impoverish them. It's going to improve access to health care, basically. Beyond this, the government was able to start the Primary Healthcare Development Agency, which did a lot of great work in taking healthcare down to the grassroots, improving the rural areas, doing great work at that level. Finally, the government was able to do a lot of infrastructural development in the health sector. Presently, there is the referral hospitals which are being built across the state, and we want to have a world-class hospital where people can be attended to. Beyond that, different general hospitals across the state have been refurbished, they have been made good, and patients can now take quality health care in those places.
It's a statement of facts that Cross River State government, through the leadership of our Amiable Governor, Prof Ben Ayade, has taken the lead in agro-industrialization in Cross River. We've gone into massive agricultural development, ranging from the rice value chain. In Cross River State, you have the first ultra-modern rice seed and seedling factory. So the purpose of establishing this rice seed and seedling factory, one of its best in Nigeria and in West Africa, is to ensure that our farmers are being given a high rice seedling for planting. That's a departure from seeds to seedling. This will guarantee high yield of rice cultivation in Cross River State and in Nigeria. Not only that, within the Ayade Industrial Park, you have the Kalachika, the chicken processing plants that is to process over 120,000 pieces of chicken in a day. And this not just to process. The governor have also developed an ultra-modern poultry farm here in Odukpani Calabar-Ikom Highway. The purpose of going into this massive development in livestock is to ensure that we ensure food security for our teeming population in Nigeria. In the cocoa value chain, the state government has, cocoa is the #1 tree crop in Nigeria. And Cross River State currently, we are being adjudged the second cocoa producing state in Nigeria. But we know that we are the #1 cocoa producing state, because all our cocoa produced in Cross River State, cultivated in Cross River State, is being taken to Ondo when the cocoa is being graded and certified before it is being exported. But now that Prof Ben Ayade, the governor of Cross River State, have established an ultra-modern cocoa factory located in Ikom local government. This is also to kind of offtake from our farmers all the cocoa that will be produced in the farm.
Even at the local level of development and governance, key players help drive the agenda of His Excellency, bringing governance to the grassroots and making democratic dividends easily felt across board.
What is going on here, as you can see, is the construction of the Boki East-West Road, embarked upon by our own, the digital talk-and-do government. This project, the Boki Assembly, in fact, we are so excited with our governor. Because of that, we have made a resolution that this road will be named immediately after His Excellency, just to give kudos. So our great-grandchildren will know that this Ayade can make this road for Boki people. As we all know, this road has so many economic importance. This is the only road that can link Boki East and Boki West. By the time this road is completed, Boki 1 and Boki 2 will forever remain grateful to His Excellency.
If you go to my local government now, I've even erected a chairman's office and an upstairs, which is one of a kind in any other local government. I started it, I contracted it, I followed due process, contracted it out to a contractor. Contractor started. So my good relationship, I have funds I pay.
To my people, the service at the grassroots, where everyone will feel the impact of governance. And by the grace of God, we've been working towards it to see how we can actualize the vision.
We coordinate the entire activities of the clusters. So we have different clusters under the ministry. We have the events department, we have Carnival Commission, we have Tourism Bureau, we have Culture and Heritage, Carnival Commission, and of course Tourism Development. But at the creation of the ministry, we had to subsume culture and heritage and tourism development to make up the ministry.
From education at all levels to maintaining a cordial relationship with opposition parties, as well as in the inner workings of government, you can be sure the governor has capable hands everywhere.
The governor of Cross River State, Senator Prof Ben Ayade, is completely committed to quality education. He has changed the name of the Ministry of Education to Quality Education. So far, we are trying to attract a collaboration with 4 universities abroad. We are almost at completion already, and then one, I think, 2 in UK, 1 in South Africa, and 1 in the US. And we have established the research and development unit and appointed a professor to head it. We are aggressively involved in soliciting grants from abroad, and some are even in advanced stages now. And I'll also let you know that with the support we are getting from the state government, the federal government through TED Fund particularly, for the first time, COTEC is assessing the IBRO, individual research from TED Fund. Okay. They've never assessed it before. We've made the submission and they're assessing it. And for the first time, we've been able to we just cleared the 5 years seaways coordinators allowance.
His Excellency feel the need to work with everybody and to work with every political party. His Excellency Senator Prof Ben Ayade believes that every governorship candidate and every political party had what to offer and had what it takes to govern Cross River State. And for him, he believes that he just first among equal that was opportune to be the governor of Cross River State. And as thus, everybody who ran election with him should be given the opportunity to contribute that agenda they initially had, that if I have won election, this is what I will have done. It is on that note, he feels that whatever policy you had as a governorship candidate, as a party, bring it to us. We'll marry it together, take away some, bring in some, and use it as a state policy. This office has coordinated the appointment of 34 members of other political parties in Cross River State.
Despite some of the negative odds, one thing you cannot take away from the Ayade-led government is the fact that he doesn't lack the right people to help him deliver on mandate. Hence, his developmental strides that dot the length and breadth of Cross River State, carrying vibrant young people along.
Our coming on board, we've also gone on to the social media, and social media is very active as well on Twitter, on Facebook, and on Instagram. And so on all these platforms, social media, radio and television, we are striving very hard to ensure that His Excellency's ideologies and then the focus of the administration, the focal points, and also the day-to-day activities are packaged in a way that is simple for everybody to understand, is refreshing, exciting, and also is one that will allow citizens to have adequate information, because it is very important that citizens know exactly what their government is doing.
We got on board, the Carnival Calabar itself was Carnival Calabar Festival, run through the Carnival Calabar bands, 5, which was the street party, big street party. When we came, we introduced what is called the International Carnival. This was introduced by us when we came on, where at the last count, we had like 28 countries of the world participating, both Africa and Europe. That's huge. We introduced what is called the Bikers Parade, where those with expendable income, the bikers, come into Calabar, and they're in competition. There are 3 bikers groups that compete for these prizes. There's the Red Scorpio, which is led by His Excellency the Governor. There's the Tinapa bikers, and then there's the other group that's led by His Excellency Donald Duke. We also introduced and expanded on the cultural carnival, which hitherto was here. The cultural carnival was here, but on assumption of office, we ensured that more than 30-something states now were participating. So it became bigger and bolder. We also introduced a novelty, which is called the Miss Africa Beauty Pageant.
He has done very well, if you ask me. Here's a man who has left a mark in every local government area of Cross River State. In Ogoja, there's a rice mill facility. Of course, in Obudu, there's the cargo airport and the British Canadian Academy. In Calabar municipality here, there's the Construction and Fabrication Academy. Of course, there is also the Ayade Industrial Park housing a couple of industries. In Obaliko, there's a social housing scheme. In Yara, there's a new cities development that is currently ongoing. In Ikom, there's a cocoa processing facility. And Yako, there's a toothpick facility. Akampa, we have the Pylon factory. And you have such projects littered across every local government area of the state. We have never had it this good in the history of Cross River State. Ayade has overseen the employment of some 20,000 young Cross Rivers into the system who have already begun receiving payments. Ayade has also incorporated some 6,000 appointees into the system through his Ayadesian theory of expanded government. I think His Excellency Governor Ben Ayade has done very well, and we should give him our collective support.
This message is powered by the Department of Public Communications, Cross River State.